Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hello. Today we come to week 9 and we'll discuss about generative grammar. Alright, now let's go back to the relationship between syntax and other branches of linguistics. As we know that language is a psychological or cognitive property of humans. So language is about cognitive property. Jadi ada kognitif, bagian kognitif dalam bahasa itu kita di sana termasuk cognitive property ya. So first, phonetic is about sounds, phonology, sounds and analysis to syllables, and morphology is meaningful units or the study of words, the shape of words, and syntax is organizing the words into phrases and sentences, and semantic is the meaning. So again, the study of syntax is about how sentences are structured. And now, the part of grammar that represents a speaker's knowledge of sentences and their structure is syntax. Jadi syntax itu adalah bagian dari grammar yang represent speaker's knowledge. This should be apostrophe here. Represent speaker's knowledge of sentences and their structure. Jadi menggambarkan pengetahuan dari si pembicara itu pada kalimat yang dia tulis atau ucapkan dan struktur dari kalimat tersebut. Okay. Let's see for example. Jadi tadi terkait dengan pengetahuan bagaimana seseorang itu menyusun kalimat. Oke, kita lihat di sini. We have some words. We have she, what, a, has, wants. Okay. And man. Now, how can you arrange these words into sentences or phrases? Bagaimana cara menyusun kata-kata ini menjadi kalimat? So there are some alternatives. First, see what a has once meant. Do you think this sentence is meaningful and correct? No, we don't know what it means. But if you arrange like this one, she has what a man wants. It does make sense. Or we can change the order. She wants what a man has. It's also okay. Do you know the different meaning between the second and the third? Tahu beda artinya ya? She has what a man wants. Dia memiliki apa yang diinginkan laki-laki. So like she's perfect. But if she wants what a man has, dia ingin apa yang dimiliki laki-laki. It means she wants everything from the man. Yeah. Even though they have the same words, but when they are arranged differently, they may don't have meaning, or they may have different meanings. So changing the order of words can change the meaning, but changing the word order may also have the same meaning. Ya, jadi ternyata merubah posisi juga bisa artinya sama. Like this sentence, the Chief Justice swore in the new president. If we change or if we move the preposition into the last part of the sentence, the Chief Justice swore the president in, they still have the same meaning. Oke, jadi ini tadi. Jadi ketika kita bisa menyusun kalimat dengan benar baik dalam tulisan ataupun kata-kata lisan, maka di situ menandakan kita memiliki kemampuan sintaksis. Okay, now you have to know that the language can be written with big or capital L or lowercase l. Jadi ketika language ditulis dengan L besar dan L kecil, ternyata bisa memiliki makna yang berbeda ya. Language with the uppercase, or it can be called I language, means humans' ability to speak any language. But if using lowercase or known as E language, It means the language, like in English, Indonesian, and so on. Okay, now syntax is a cognitive science, so we have to think about it. Why? Because sentences is about how we get at expressing abstract thought processes. So what we have in our mind, then we have to express it into sentences. Jadi apa yang ada dalam pikiran kita harus bisa kita ekspresikan dalam kalimat, sehingga kita membutuhkan proses untuk itu. And syntax is an important foundation stone for understanding how we communicate and interact with each other as humans. So knowing the correct order of words in sentences or phrases is very important for communication. Jadi kalau kita susunan tidak benar, tidak pas, maka orang lain bisa memahami yang salah atas apa yang ingin kita komunikasikan. So syntax is very important. And now, in syntax, there are rules. So it's a set of formal grammatical rules. Or syntax is about the order in which you put your words. Seperti tadi saya sampaikan, bagaimana kita menyusun kata. And these rules, jadi rumus-rumus, these rules are thought to generate the sentences of language. Jadi rumus-rumus pada grammar itu dianggap bisa untuk diaplikasikan pada kalimat-kalimat yang lain. And this what we call as generative grammar. Maka dikatakan generative grammar. Generate the sentences of language. For example, like we have like subject, verb, object. So any words as the subject, any word as the verb, any word as the object. Like, for example, the subject I, the verb eat, and the object rice. And you can change I into other subject, like we, and then the verb found, the object a ball. So that's what we call as generate the sentences. Itu ya. Okay. Now you need to know about this person, Noam Chomsky, because he is the one who firstly discussed about this discussion. Okay, now let's just move. You can read it by yourself. And because we said that syntax is a science, so it has scientific method. And in syntax, the hypotheses are called rules, and the group of hypotheses that describe a language syntax is called grammar. Jadi, hipotesa atau rumus-rumus tadi itu ketika dikumpulkan maka disebut sebagai grammar yang telah dipelajari ya. And there are two kind of rules, ada prescriptive rules and descriptive rules. The difference is prescriptive rules is about how people are supposed to use the language. Jadi ini rumusnya. Seharusnya orang berbicara seperti apa. But descriptive rules is about how people actually use the language. Nah, ternyata yang digunakan dalam bahasa sehari-hari bisa jadi tidak sesuai dengan rumus. But people still can understand each other. Next, let's talk about grammaticality. Nah, tadi ada grammar rules. Apakah itu grammaticality? So as we know that every sentence is a sequence of words. Tadi kalimat, setiap kalimat itu memiliki beberapa kata, urutan kata. But not every sequence of words is a sentence. Ternyata tidak semua kumpulan kata atau urutan kata itu adalah kalimat. Seperti tadi yang kita contohkan pada she has what a man wants tadi di bagian awal, itu berurutan tapi ternyata bukan kalimat. Tapi kalimat itu adalah beberapa atau kumpulan kata. So, sequences of words that conform to the rules of syntax are called as well-formed or grammatical. Jadi kalau urutan katanya itu sudah benar sesuai dengan rumus-rumus syntax, itu kita sebut sebagai kalimat yang well-formed atau grammatical atau correct sentences. Jadi benar itu kalimat yang benar itu disebut sebagai well-formed atau grammatical. Kemudian grammatical ini apabila tidak tepat, ya sequence of words that violate the syntactic rules, kalimat yang salah is called as ill-formed or ungrammatical. Jadi kalimat yang salah ini sebutannya ya. Now let's talk about grammatically is not based on. Nah, apakah kalimat itu benar atau salah itu tidak boleh didasarkan pada 3 hal ini. Yang pertama adalah having heard before. Jadi ketika kita menemukan kalimat yang belum pernah kita dengar sebelumnya dalam bahasa Inggris misalnya, bukan berarti kalimat itu salah. Oke, jadi jangan sampai mengatakan karena saya belum pernah mendengar maka ini pasti salah. No, that's not what grammaticality is based on. And then not based on meaningful. Susunan kata itu tidak harus memiliki makna yang benar untuk memiliki susunan yang benar. Remember, we talk about syntax, so we talk about word arrangement. Maksudnya bagaimana? Okay, I'll give you example after this. And the last one is about truth. Jadi kadang kalimat itu tetap benar walaupun kenyataannya salah. Like my father is pregnant. It's impossible my father is pregnant, but this sentence is okay. I mean grammatically. Ya, jadi ini sesungguhnya benar secara grammar walaupun maknanya tentu saja ini tidak akan pernah terjadi. Okay, let's see the example. Jadi contoh yang pertama misalnya, you find this sentence. Enormous crickets in pink socks danced at the prom. Suppose that you don't know or you've just heard these words. Misalnya Anda baru pertama kali mendengar kata-kata yang ada di sini. Walaupun baru pertama didengar, belum pernah mendengar sebelumnya, bukan berarti kalimat ini salah. Nah, itu about having heard before. Ya, walaupun memang kalimat ini like imagination ya. The second one, colorless green ideas sleep furiously. Nah, kalau kita analis secara sintaksis, we have verb sleep and then we have the subject plural, and then it has the head, it has a modifier color, and then like adjective, and then with adverb. What about the meaning? Nah, ini maknanya apa kalimat ini? Ide-ide hijau tak berwarna tidur dengan marah. The meaning doesn't make sense. Katanya ide hijau tapi kok tidak berwarna. Even though it doesn't have a meaningful or it is not meaningful, but it's still grammatical. Masih benar. So, like when you, for example, take a grammar test, it doesn't matter if you don't know the meaning. You still may be able to do it correctly. Jadi misalnya ketika mengerjakan tes grammar, walaupun tidak paham artinya, kita masih mungkin bisa mengerjakan dengan benar. So you have to analyze the sentences. Okay, let's see next example. You may still remember this. Nah, ini puisinya dari Lewis Carroll, ya. Yeah. So when we look at this, ada tuas, prilik, and the slitty toes. Let's compare. Kalau kita bandingkan di sini top, slitty, the, and prilik, tuas. Kalau kita bandingkan dari dua ini, we know that the first one must be correct, but the second is not. Kenapa? After and we have the, and then we have like, adjective like, or and then followed by nouns. But not this one, the and is not possible. Jadi walaupun ini contoh dari puisi yang tidak memiliki makna ya, tapi kita lihat susunannya yang pertama lebih benar daripada yang kedua. Kenapa? Because we follow the syntactic rules. Okay. Next, so where do the rules come from? Kalau gitu rulesnya itu dari mana? So it can be about learning and acquisitions. Bisa jadi rumus itu dari dipelajari atau secara tidak sadar diperoleh dari sekelilingnya. Ada juga universal grammar. Jadi bahwa dalam otak kita, otak manusia itu ada certain mesin, ya, so that we know which is correct or not. Infinity and recursion, we'll talk about it later in the next discussions. Nah, kalau tadi rulesnya dari mana? Kalau grammaticality, what is grammaticality based on? Berarti benar atau tidak itu didasarkan pada apa? Look at this example. Oke, kita lihat di sini ada contoh. Number 1, the boy found the ball. The boy subject found verb the ball object. Is correct. Now let's see number 2. Disa slept the baby. Disa subject slept verb the baby object. They look the same, A and E. But the first one is correct and E is not. Why? Because slept is intransitive verb and found is transitive verb. So how do we know that? So that's why grammaticality judgments are neither idiosyncratic or nor capricious, but are determined by rules that are set by the speakers of the language. Jadi grammaticality is based on rules set by the native speakers. So that what you have to remember. Jadi kita tidak bisa mengatakan bahwa harus berdasarkan ini atau itu, tapi harus berdasarkan rules yang disepakati oleh pembicara dari bahasa itu sendiri. That's it. Okay, now let's talk about well form and ill form example. Ini contoh tentang analisa well form dan ill form ya, tentang anaphora. What is anaphora? I'll show you in the next slide. Tapi ada beberapa hal yang harus dimiliki oleh anaphora. Yang pertama, an anaphor must have antecedent, agree in gender with that antecedent. Jadi anaphor itu harus memiliki kembaliannya atau referring to-nya. Anaphor must agree in gender and number with its antecedent. Anaphor must agree in person, gender, and number with its antecedent. So, berapa contoh? Okay, let's see the example in the next slide. Yeah, so this is anaphoric. Yeah, so like here we have pronouns. I, you, she, he, it. We, you, they. See as plural and singular. And then as the object, and then anaphoric, like myself or selves. So let's see this example. Bill kissed himself is okay, but if Bill kissed herself, it's not, because they, Bill and herself, disagree in gender. Sally kissed herself is okay, but Sally kissed himself, no, because him and her disagree. Him is a masculine, Sally is feminine. So that's why it's not correct. Kiss himself is not correct because him must have antecedent. So Sally here, Bill is the antecedent. Ya, jadi di sini Bill adalah antecedentnya, kemudian himself ini adalah anaforanya, dan benar di sini himself karena him kembali ke Bill sama-sama masculine. Tapi kalau Bill kissed herself di sini salah karena Bill itu masculine, her itu adalah feminine. Okay, let's see other example. The robot kissed itself. It's okay. She knocked herself on the head with zucchini. It's okay, but she knocked himself. No, himself and she disagree on the head with zucchini. And see the last example, like people from or maybe like B. I give yourself the bucket on ice cream. I give yourself and I disagree. Okay, because I is the first person, you is the second person. But if you say I give myself the bucket of ice cream, it's fine for this one because myself is agree with the antecedent I. Okay, so this is the example of anaphoric analysis. And how is the analysis in this generative grammar? Analisanya nanti seperti apa? Okay, now let's see this one. Synthetic Buffalo Heights. Do you think it's a sentence or a phrase? Ini kalimat ataukah frasa? What do you think? It has two analysis. Ini analisanya. First we have this diagram, tree diagram. Jadi analisanya menggunakan tree diagram. Synthetic alone, Buffalo Heights in the same, okay, in the same branches. And then the second one, synthetic buffalo, okay, in one branches, and Heights alone. So which one do you think is correct? Both are correct because these words can be a sentence, can be a phrase. So for number one, these words is a phrase. Yeah, so Buffalo Heights means kulit, ya, kulit sapi atau kulit kerbau, synthetic, kulit kerbau buatan. But for the second one, Synthetic buffalo hides. It's a sentence. Synthetic buffalo, kerbau buatan, hides sembunyi. Or maybe patung, something like that. Yeah. Okay. So these words can be analyzed into two different meanings, and both are correct. So this gonna be how we analyze sentences or phrases in the next discussion. Jadi nanti analisanya menggunakan tree diagram atau namanya phrase structure trees, dan kita juga nanti akan mengenal phrase structure rules. Okay, I think that's all for today. Thank you so much. I hope this video can help you, and assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.